Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in the world. I'm Tigris Osborne. I'm the executive director of NAFA, the National Association to Advance Fat Acceptance. And welcome to our fourth annual virtual winter brunch. We are so excited to be here with our usual brunch crew, who you'll meet in just a minute, and our very special performer, Jolene Cuisine. Before we get into our party vibes, just a couple of announcements from NAFA. For those of you who are here for the first time, NAFA, the National Association to Advance Fat Acceptance, has worked to create fat positive spaces to change perceptions of fat and to work on ending size discrimination since 1969. We do that work today largely through our campaign for size freedom, which seeks to add height and weight to protected classes under the law in states all over the US, and through our virtual programming. Which we're so happy to have you joining us for today. We've produced by the end of the year, we will have produced about 35 events this year, virtual events, so that folks, no matter where they are, can find fat community and learn more about fat liberation and working against anti-fatness. And we are able to do that through the generous support of our donor community. So if you're already one of our donors, thank you. If you're about to become one of our donors, thank you. If you make a donation by the end of December, you will be helping us hit a $15,000 year-end goal. And if we hit that goal, our friends at Burnt Toast, led by Virginia Soul Smith, will match that with another $15,000. Now, of course, we want to just blow the roof off of that traditional fundraising thermometer and go way past the 15,000, and you can help us get there. Also this month, you get a really cute thank you sticker designed by with characters from our friend Bats Langley. So it's a great time to make a donation and get one of those exclusive stickers. You can see those on our website at naafa.org or on our social media at NAFA Official. So that's what's going on with us in the big picture. In the little tiny festive holiday picture, we're going to get into our brunch today, and I'm going to introduce you now to our host, Matthew Simcoe. Matthew, who uses pronouns he, him, is a host and style expert appearing on television shows across the Northeast for at least the last 10 years and many more to come. He's been featured in The Guardian, Reader's Digest, Boston Globe, the Boston Herald, and Boston Magazine. These days, you can mostly find him on Instagram at Simcoe Says, SIMKO SAYS, posting photos, fit check videos, and the occasional thirst trap. He believes that looking good and feeling good is for everybody. And again, you can find Matt at matthew-simcoe.com or Simcoe Says. Matt, welcome back to the NAFA virtual brunch.
Hi, Grace. Happy holidays.
So good to see you. Is this your holiday thirst trap look?
I wouldn't be wearing a shirt if it was a holiday thirst trap, but keep
Yes.
keep keep eyes on Instagram. You might
I
just
mean,
see that.
feel free to switch it up during the brunch. We'll see what Jolene inspires us to do over here.
It's been so cold lately though, around here. I'm in New England, so we've been in the 30s, the 20s, the teens. So we are bundled up for the holidays here.
And you can see I'm over here in my Let's Get Lit t-shirt because I am coming to you all today from the greater Phoenix area, where
Yes.
until last week it was still in the 70s and 80s. Well, we were in the 50s this week. So we're getting a little bit of reason to throw on the flannels, or to get extra lit and keep warm that way.
Well, it's been a big year for Napa. What do you think the biggest contribution or the biggest achievement has been so far for Napa this year?
Ooh, I didn't know you were going to ask me this question, but I am thinking about this for our newsletter this week. And if you, folks, if you're not on our newsletter list, you can get on that at our website. But I think that most people in our community would say that it was a really big deal that I was recognized by Time Magazine as one of the Time 100 health leaders, and I feel a little, you know, like awkwardness around bragging on that since I got the recognition, but really the recognition is for the work that we all do collectively on the campaign for size freedom. So to me, it feels like a shared recognition, and there was so much like community support around it and good feeling about it that it's hard to overlook that as the highlight. But I also think a lot of folks don't know that we worked together with the folks. We formed a coalition in Colorado called the Coalition the Colorado Alliance for Size Equity, and we did some work there to slow down some bills that have some problematic unintended consequences on fat community, but also to help pass a bill that adds height and weight to Colorado's anti-bullying statute. So we feel pretty proud about that. I'm pretty excited about that. And of course, we continue on with our campaign for size freedom, growing our petition, getting ready to queue up reintroducing bills in lots of other states in the spring. And then our other big advocacy piece this fall is we've been trying, and as we're now in winter, we've been trying to get Southwest Airlines to give us a meeting so that we can talk to them about the changes that they are making to their they're not saying they're making changes to their customer of size policy, but they're making changes to everything else. And there's no possible way that that will not affect the customer of size policy. And we want them to be prepared for that. So we're still building that petition so we can, go at them with thousands of people behind us. If you haven't signed it yet, you can find that on our website, nafa.org/Southwest.
Yeah, that's a big that's a big one. And you know what, I think the recognition is so well deserved because there's real work behind it, right? There's real work of introducing bills, reintroducing bills, and really making some really positive progress. So a lot of times you see recognition of folks that, it feels good to have the buzz, but there's not a whole lot of substance behind it. And I feel like the work you're doing with NAFA really has the chops, to support that. So on behalf of myself as a fat person, thank you for the work that you do, and for the greater community, thank you as well, because it's super important.
Thank you. And thank you for reminding me to highlight our year-end recap here, not just in our newsletter, but here with our event audience. So thank
Of
you.
course.
For those of you who are here with us live, we'll put some links to those things in the chat for you. And for those of you who are watching this later on YouTube, you can check the show notes for links, or you can just go to the NAFA website and you'll find information about all of that stuff.
That's awesome. Well, we've got some great folks here today, including, first off the top is Jolene Cuisine, who is here and going to perform with us. Look at those rings on that glove right there. Oh, yes, dripping on that. So Jolene is going to perform for us. We also have our friend Danielle G, who is here, normally hosting a brunch demo. She is without a voice today, so there will be a filmed version of her demo as soon as she's feeling less under the weather that will sort of cut into this or make available for everyone. But she is here listening and enjoying with us, and will give us a wave at some point this afternoon. But Jolene Cuisine, who has she, her pronouns, is the premier drag bear of Delaware. I just had a layover in Delaware, actually. Much like her namesake, she's often salty and best kept in a freezer. She can often be found strutting at the Crimson Moon in Wilmington, Delaware, singing down in Rehoboth, Delaware, or making 069 jokes at various drag bingos in the tri-state area. She's best known for her campy costumes, kooky comedy, and crazy killer vocals. She's larger than life in more ways than one. Follow Jolene on social @_Jolene Cuisine. Please welcome Ms. Jolene Cuisine. Hello, how are we doing this morning?
Hello. I'm feeling fabulous and feminine. How is everyone else?
Let me tell you, are looking it too. We got the drip on the ears. We got the drip on the hands. We got that festive holiday wig.
I just rolled out of bed, so I did the best I could.
Yeah, no, that feels absolutely correct. I mean, you could have touched up a little bit more, maybe, but
I know. It's a little rough, but
so tell me, before we get into your performance, do you have a favorite holiday tradition?
Well,
or a favorite winter? Either.
Yeah, I mean, a tradition that I am starting this year is, Christmas has always been my favorite. And so I love Christmas music, and I love singing Christmas music. I grew up singing, Christmas music in churches and all that stuff. So this year I debuted my very first one-woman Christmas show called A Very Hairy Christmas. And I performed it a few places down in Delaware. And then this upcoming week, I'll be in Asbury Park, New Jersey. And then on Saturday, the 21st, I will be up in Boston with the Huntington Theater Company. So I know if you're in New England, if you're nearby,
yes,
let me know. But yeah, so that is a tradition that I'm hoping to continue on, because it's a nice way to make your, friends and family come support you, pay a ticket price, but it's still fun.
support you in more ways than one. And you know what? I really believe in sort of celebrating the holidays or the winter, however it feels right for you. And you know, with so many dynamics in the world today, sometimes it's hard to do it with traditional or nuclear family. So chosen family, especially this time of year, is so important. And I've really embraced that over the years. So Jolene, you're gonna run into a performance for us right now, right? What are you singing for us? What are you doing for us? I can't wait.
So one of my go-to songs, if we have any musical theater fans in the crowd, as I am going to share my audio, I am going to be singing a song from a musical called Chicago.
Never heard of it.
Very yeah, exactly. Never heard of it before. But it is, the character is matron Mama Morton, which is typically played by Queen Latifah in the movie, typically played by someone who is a little, busty, brassy, and perfect for a drag queen like me. I know everybody's on mute, but I can just imagine that you're applauding for me. Ask any of the chickies in my pen. They'll tell you I'm the biggest mother hen. I love them all and all of them love me. Because the system works, the system called reciprocity. Hit it. Got a little motto, always sees me through. When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. There's a lot of favors I'm prepared to do. You do one for mama, she'll do one for you. They say that life is tit for tat, and that's the way I live. So I deserve a lot of tat for what I've got to give. Don't you know that this hand washes that one too? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. Oh, I think there's a key change coming. If you want my gravy, pepper my ragu. Spice it up for mama, she'll get hot for you. When they pass that basket, folks contribute too. You put in for mama, she'll put out for you. The folks the top of the ladder are the ones the world adores. So boost me up, my ladder kid, and I'll boost you up yours. Let's all stroke together like the Princeton crew. When you're stroking mama, mama's stroking you. So what's the one conclusion I can bring this number to? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you.
Hey, give it up for Jolene. Listen,
Thank you.
If people weren't singing along with that or lipping along with that at home, that is such a classic. That was so fantastic. Thank you very much for that performance.
Thank you kindly.
As you were performing, I was looking up all of your gigs. We'll drop your links down in the chat for everyone to see, plus the socials. But can you run through one more time those upcoming gigs and your socials?
Yeah. So, I mean, if anyone's local to the Delaware area, feel free to follow me on social media because I host many, many regular gigs in Rehoboth Beach, Philadelphia, like all throughout the state of Delaware. But I'm going to be traveling this holiday. So, if you're in Asbury Park, New Jersey, on Wednesday, December 18th, you can catch me at Paradise. With doing my Very Hairy Christmas special, and then I'll be closing my Very Hairy Christmas special up at in Boston at the Huntington Theater Company. You can find all my information and my social medias on jolenecuisine.com. Also, as per tradition in a drag show, if no one's ever been to one, if you want to feel generous and tip a queen, you can give me a little Venmo love at Jolene_cuisine. And that's enough panhandling for today.
You need like a can to shake virtually.
Exactly. I'll take off my wig and like pass it around.
Whatever it takes to get that collection. Right, exactly. Well, thank you. And I should mention the iconic Huntington Theater Company. That is very iconic for theater around here, and a very very legit thing to do. So I, for one, am impressed. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, and if you want a comp, let me know. I'll get you in.
Oh, we like to support our fellow queens. So
there you go. Thank you.
We will we'll pencil that in, and I'll talk to the partner, see if he's interested. So be great. Well, Jolene, you're going to come back at the end and do another performance for us. Is that right?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, well, I can't wait to hear that. So thank you very much. And we'll see you a little bit later on. And, Danielle G, I mentioned earlier, she normally does our brunch demos and is not feeling well today. But I'll give her intro anyway. Danielle G, fashionably famished, has been creating food and lifestyle content since 2018. Whether it's a blog post or video, she shares her honest opinion and provides insight on topics, including casual style, food, and restaurant reviews, and more recently, motherhood. Her content is meant to inspire and create community for fat folks to be seen dining and thriving. You can follow Danielle on Instagram at JustDanielleG. Danielle, hello. Please give a big wave. I'm so sorry that you're not feeling well. Your demos for brunch are a highlight for me, but we want you to get well soon and feel better soon as well. We'll get you up here and running. So
thank you.
No, don't even try. It's like Murphy's Law, right? Exactly. There was one time I had a television appearance, and the night before met a friend's new dog, and that dog smacked me in the face, and I had this big fat lip on television during a segment the next morning. And I'm like, I had never been injured by a dog in 30-something years of life, and it never fails the minute you get in front of a camera. So, but get well soon. Your tree is looking festive and fabulous, just like you. So it's good to see you. So we are going to go ahead and do some breakout rooms for about 10 minutes or so. And within those, I think we should maybe talk about our favorite holiday party hacks, our favorite holiday tips, or the favorite holiday party we've ever been to. So why don't we go ahead and break out into those rooms for about 10 minutes. You can just stay exactly where you are. We'll do some work behind the scenes to get us there, and then we'll come back, we'll chat a little bit, and then Jolene Performance 2 will come up. So let's get chatting. Welcome back, everyone. As we come out of these rooms, I was just saying I got this sun behind me that makes me look even more angelic than I normally am. So my little halo coming through over here. We talked a lot about the winter and the cold in our breakout room, and about some unpredictable weather. But if anyone else shared any good holiday tips or tricks for events or holiday traditions, definitely put those down there in the chat. We want to see them. This time of year, I always think about the holidays and how we all celebrate differently. And some of us travel, some of us, I said, see traditional family or chosen family. And my partner and I, on Thanksgiving for the past couple of years, have chosen to celebrate with our chosen family, which started as a group of 6, then a group of 8, and we were a group of 16 this year, which was really, really fun to be able to do that. So, I love a non-traditional holiday celebration, and I hope all of you get to celebrate however feels right for you. Jolene, do you have a tradition like that? Do you see family during the holidays? What do you what's your go-to for like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day?
Yeah, so I very fortunate I get to spend with like my family. I was born and raised in Delaware, and so like all my family's pretty nearby, so we have a lot of like fun, like all my like cousins started when we were younger, would sleep over together the Christmas night after, having dinner together and stuff like that. But then also kind of going with chosen family, the one gay bar in Wilmington that I work at, we do like a annual Christmas party, which has become like more and more like almost like a second Christmas, with your chosen family. So
I love that. I think that's so important. There's so many good comments here in the chat too. Christmas morning breakfast, you can prep it the night before. Monkey bread the day before, so you put it in the oven. I love monkey bread. I hear you can do it with like the Pillsbury rolls too. You kind of just put them all together and pour stuff over it, which sounds incredible. Apple cider in the crock pot. You're right. That, Tigress, you were so right. Even if no one drinks it, it smells so good in the house. And I don't know about you, but that cinnamon smell just takes me to the holidays always. I love it so much. We always used to have a cranberry nut bread on Christmas morning. And it's so funny because it was so inconsistent every year. And sometimes it was like really tart, too sweet. Sometimes the middle wasn't baked quite right. But, my mom tried to make that happen every Christmas morning for us, which I thought was sweet. And those flavors always remind me of the holidays. So a lot of great traditions happening here. And I've done so many different TV segments and blog posts and articles over the years about, holiday entertaining, but I always like just hearing from people how they celebrate, because sometimes it's like you said, just some monkey bread in the morning, opening those gifts or celebrating with family and friends. So last year, I should share in the chat, I made a charcuterie Christmas tree. So we called it a charcuter tree. Maybe I'll find it while you perform, Jolene, and I'll put it in the chat. But it was this big, basically cone with all this meat and cheese and rosemary to make it look like a Christmas tree. And it took hours. I was filled with like grease all over my hands. But I had my dad and his partner at the time come over, and she gasped when it came out. And I said it was worth it. It was all worth it for that gasp when I brought it out. So all right, I'll stop talking. Jolene, you've got another song coming up. Tell me about this one. What are you doing?
Yeah, so this is going right on the holiday conversation and all of that. This is a song called the 12 Days After Christmas. And so, kind of a little funny take on the joys of holidays. And, everybody knows the 12 days of Christmas, all the gifts that they got. But this is what happens afterwards. So I'll give it to that.
All right, well, take it away without further ado.
So I chopped the pear tree down and burnt it just for spite. And with a single cartridge, I shot that blasted partridge. My true love, my true love, my true love gave to me. The second day after Christmas, I pulled on the old rubber gloves and very gently wrung the necks of both the turtle doves. My true love, my true love, my true love gave to me. The third day after Christmas, my mother caught the croup. I had to use the 3 French hens to make some chicken soup. The 4 calling birds were a big mistake, for their language was obscene. The 5 gold rings were completely fake, and they charged my fingers green. The 6th day after Christmas, the 6 laying geese wouldn't lay. I sent the whole darn gaggle to the ASPCA. On the 7th day, what a mess I found! All 7 of the swimming swans had drowned. My true Christmas before they could suspect. I bundled up the 8 maids of milking, 9 ladies dancing, 10 lords of leaping, 11 pipers piping, 12 drummers drumming. Well, actually, I kept one of the drummers and sent them back collect. I wrote my true love, we are through love, and I said in so many words, furthermore, your Christmas gifts were for the birds.
Okay, I was just vibing over here. I missed the end of that. I love that. It was so fun.
You.
I love that you kept one of the drummers in there for yourself, of course.
Exactly. A little gift for myself. What can I say?
If I kept one of the drummers, it would be the biggest one. It'd be a nice big gift to myself.
There you go.
Jolene, thank you very much. That's so fun. Is that part of your Very Hairy Christmas performance?
It is, yes, yeah. It's I have about I think I go through 12 songs and a nice little story of getting ready for a Christmas party, kind of going perfect with our conversation today, and hilarity ensues. That's all I'm gonna say. Definitely,
so if
anybody's interested in going, it is I'm a drag queen, so don't bring the kids. This isn't a drag story time. It's definitely get the babysitter and only adults there.
Are we saying it's PG-13 or rated R?
Yeah, PG-13. I mean, all the locations are 18 plus. So
okay, got it. So PG-18.
Yes. Yeah, there we go.
That was so fun. Remind us of your socials one more time so everybody can follow you.
Yeah. You can all follow me on Instagram is the biggest one because that's what everybody goes to. @ Jolene Cuisine, just spelled how my name is here. @ Jolene Cuisine, and that is where I post all of my information. You get to my website on there, get to all the other good juicy stuff.
We love that. Well, thank you again. It was great meeting you, and I hope I get a chance to see you do your thing in Boston when you're here.
Yes, definitely. If you end up coming, shoot me a message on Instagram or something.
Definitely. Absolutely. Will do. Thanks again.
Thank you.
I dropped my charcuterie here in the chat so everyone can see it from last year. I'm looking at it like a proud dad over there. It was a real labor of love. And if anyone's interested in making their own, what you do is you get a styrofoam cone, essentially, from Michael's or any of those places. And then you just take all the meat, you kind of fold it over with toothpicks, and you just wrap it all the way around there. There's some cheese on there, there's some olives on there. And then at the top, you kind of put all your toothpicks there so you can hold on to it and pull them out too. And some people coat that tree in rosemary ahead of time, but really, quite frankly, I forgot and then just kind of stuck them in later. But I still think that it's show worthy. So maybe I'll post that on Instagram this year as well. But there it is.
I'm just looking at the chat now. What you say Christmas tree, I'm thinking a little table trap, that's legit. 10 out of 10.
Thank you very much. It was big. It was bigger than I was up until 1 a.m. doing it. And I'm somewhat of a perfectionist, and it's not what I wanted, but it's very, very good. So
I love it.
Thank you very much. I will take all the praise. I'll take all the praise I can get anytime. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, Tigress, we talked a lot about holiday traditions, but I don't know if I heard your holiday traditions. I know here at NAFA, this is one of ours, right? The winter brunch. But what do you do? How do you get festive and celebrate?
Well, there's a lot of holiday cartooning in my house, by which I mean I'm a pretty hardcore old school Simpsons fan. So I watch all the old Simpsons holiday specials, and now I watch all the Bob's Burgers holiday specials. I love the original Grinch, and I actually love this. You can find on YouTube a throwback Garfield holiday special, which I think is super touching. I do not recommend the Garfield Thanksgiving special. It's a little diet culture-y, but don't remember the Christmas one being Diet Culture at all. I rediscovered it last year and it was quite delightful. So there's lots of cartoon times, sometimes with my 9-year-old niece, sometimes just with myself, and sometimes with like friends and loved ones of all ages. So that's a big thing for us. And then my family has a lot of holiday games we play, including some that are invented. Our favorite is one that I invented a few years ago that we call the Christmas hat stack, in which we have millions of Christmas hats in our Santa hats in our family. And what you have to do is you have to put on as many hats as you think you can dance around the ottoman without them falling off. So like you have to build up yourself to see if you like, is it 12, is it 18, is it how many pieces of things, hats and scarves, you can put on and dance around the ottoman to some kind of funky Christmas music without that pile sort of Jenga tipping over.
I love that.
Yeah, and we also do we don't do all of Festivus, but we do the feats of strength. So we have arm wrestling competitions in my family at the holidays.
Well, I need to know though, how many hats is the record? What's the record for the stacked hats?
I think my sister-in-law won the last time, and I want to say she had 18, maybe 19. So
what?
We've gone pretty, yeah, we've gone pretty big. So I won't be able to find a picture of mine before we end this brunch, but I will share it on Instagram. So brunchers, you can look at my Instagram, which is Eye of the Tigress. That's letter I of the Tigress, and you'll see me in my championship bid from the last time. I'll put it up later this weekend.
Okay, I'm like really impressed now, and I feel like I have to. We've gone to my partner's family for Christmas Day, and we've done that like the pot holders to unwrap the gift, and you roll the dice, and they're a very, very competitive bunch. So it gets loud, people are screaming. It's all for like a peanut butter cup inside, or like some like little toy. Like we're not actually winning anything in there, but the competitiveness of it. And then last year we did, remember that whipped cream thing that people caught in their mouths? That was like a challenge on TikTok.
We have that game.
Yeah, so we were doing that as well, and of course hilarity ensues around that too, because who doesn't like a face full of whipped cream in so many different ways? So, well, this has been really fun.
Jolene's territory with that.
What's that? Jolene's territory?
Getting into Jolene's territory. These innuendos, man.
Face full of whipped cream. All right, I'll tone it down a little bit. Well, I think we'll wrap up a little bit because NAFA, we are halfway to the goal for the annual fundraising, and the goal is that 15,000, is that right?
Yes.
So halfway there. And online, the website is nafa.org, NAAFA.org to donate. You can become a monthly sustainer on there as well. And
yes, our monthly givers are called our NAFA pod, passionate ongoing donors.
I love that.
If you join the NAFA pod, you actually get a special custom pod sticker by Bats Langley, in addition to the one that everyone else gets. And monthly donors are super helpful to us because that means there's some money coming in that we know we can count on. We do all of our virtual events for free to our community, and we would love to be able to keep doing that. And when you give, you help us pay our interpreters. Even though they're called pro bono, we do pay them so that they can do important pro bono work for others. You help us pay our video editor. You help us, pay our staff behind the scenes and our performers and our host crew for these virtual brunches. And so everything that you give goes right back into Fat Community in that way. And especially through supporting our virtual events. So we want to be able to keep them free in 2025, but we have to have lots of fundraising support in order to do that. So we are so grateful to our donor community and those passionate ongoing donors. Just let us know that we have some money we can count on.
That's incredible. And Bats Langley is an incredible artist who does incredible work. I've known him for 20 plus years at this point, and his work is amazing, and to be able to get a piece of that and to donate to NAFA at the same time is really remarkable. So I encourage everyone to do that, myself as well, after I get off of here. So we'll make sure to go ahead and do that. But meeting that 15K goal this year, it's sort of extra sweet because Burnt Toast is going to match it if you meet the goal. which is huge. So a $30,000 amount there is really kind of amazing. And Tigress, what is Burnt Toast? I'm not sure I know, but
So, Burnt Toast is the podcast and Substack community that is helmed by author and advocate Virginia Sole-Smith, who wrote the book Fat Talk: Parenting in the Age of Diet Culture. And Virginia is, has been a journalist for years and has really started out writing for women's magazines, writing some diet culture-y kind of stuff, because that's what you did for a women's magazine at those times, but has really, built this platform to sort of like to spread a different kind of message about celebrating bodies and freeing ourselves from, the oppression of diet culture, no matter what size we are. And so she's got a fantastic following of over 60,000 folks. They're super supportive of this fundraiser. Their donations count towards our goal, not towards the Burnt Toast 15,000. So we're very, very grateful to them and that whole community. And I think Virginia's book is about to come out in paperback. So it's a great time to check her out, check out the Substack, listen to the podcast. You can listen to Burnt Toast podcast on any of your favorite podcast apps.
I love that. And this time of year, especially, it's so important. Fat liberation, we've got a lot of interaction with family, people we haven't seen in a long time, and it can get tricky and anxiety inducing for lots of people for lots of reasons. So I think this time of year, anytime we can support each other in any sort of way, and, remind others to kind of just, mind the business with certain things, and enjoy the holiday season. That's really what it's all about. So I always consistently remind myself of that as well. And, for folks around, I remind them as well in the nicest possible way.
Absolutely. And Reagan Chastain wrote something for our blog last month, which you can, find at the NAFA Community Voices blog on our website. And she wrote a piece about surviving what she calls the nonsense, capital N. And, with just some tips for ways that you can protect yourself or defend yourself if you get into a holiday situation or any situation at any time of the year where people are projecting their body stuff onto you.
Yeah, and it's so important. I love seeing those memes and sharing those as well, where it's sort of like, how do you comment on someone's body during the holiday? You don't do it, don't mention it, talk about literally anything else, and just move on from there. So it's an important reminder, and I do push back. I'm sure we all do in our own way. So very good. Tigress, any parting words as we head into 2025? Oh my God. Can you imagine? I'm pushing it.
There are reasons to want to skip 2025, but there are
Yes.
also really good reasons not to. I have the same apprehensions and fears that many folks in our community have about 2025, but I also have a lot of hope and a lot of faith in our community to support each other. And I'm really, really grateful to be part of a community of fat folks that supports each other and that helps other fat people come into these kinds of spaces to be embraced and to be supported. So thank you to all of you who help spread the word of the work that we are doing at NAFA. And our NAFA board members will have some special New Year's wishes for you on our Instagram later in the month. So please just keep in touch with us, follow what we're doing, like and share and comment on the things that you see from NAFA. When you like them, tell us you like them and tell everybody else you like them. It helps more people see it. It helps more people reach us. It helps us reach more people. So, and then I just want to say again how grateful we are to be in partnership with Pro Bono ASL. They've been supporting our virtual events for I think about 4 years now. And it's, one of the important accessibility things we do. We are working on, we're always working on being even better to be accessible to even more folks, but it takes partnerships like this for us to be able to do that. So if other folks have feedback for us about more things we can do, we are anticipating doing at least some Spanish language things in 2025. And I don't know, can't promise y'all languages beyond that, but we are going to keep working on it. And again, as always, the more resources we have, the more we can do. So thank you all so much for the ways that you support us.
Well, thank you. And thank you for continuing to host these. I always say it's the best hour of my day when I get to do this. And it really kind of it energizes me for the rest of the day and brings me a lot of joy. So as you were chatting, I just made my donation, and I encourage everyone else to make their donation as well. Tigress, I want to thank you as always for doing this and for all of the incredible work that you do along with NAFA, all the folks behind the scenes. Danielle, feel better soon. We hope to see you and to share all of our holiday with you on social. And to Jolene, thank you very much for performing here today. It was so fantastic, and I hope to catch you in Boston. And I encourage everyone to follow her as well on her socials. So it's a really fun day. It's a really good way to celebrate the holidays. And I wish happy holidays and a happy winter season to everyone here. So thank you. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you soon.